This video is brought to you by Sporlan, quality, integrity, and tradition. Alright, so we've got a hood, and they're saying that it's flashing overload trip at them. Zone 1. Alright, well, we got up here. I talked to the kitchen manager. He said it was really smoky yesterday. This is their motor starters for the exhaust fans, and this one has the yellow indicator right there to say that it's tripped for exhaust fan 4. And you see how this little guy right up here, they're in the position to the left, but that one's in the position to the right. That's indicating that the contactor's not energized because the motor starter's holding it out. So we're not going to reset it from down here. We want to go up top and look at the fan first and make sure there's nothing crazy going on up there. All right, we're up on the roof, so we just got to look for the fan not running. This one's running. This one's running. This one's not. And this one's running. So this one right here, and it's some sort of a prep exhaust fan. So let's open this guy up and we'll see what's going on in here. All right, now the customer said that, and sometimes you got to take this stuff for what it is. Sometimes it's useful, sometimes it's not. But they said that this problem seemed to have started a couple weeks ago when they had the Ansel system serviced. That might be true, it might not. I opened this guy up. We'll come over here, turn it off. Open this guy up. Belt's tight, rotates, don't feel anything stuck in it. We can hinge it just to verify. Nothing stuck in the wheel. Everything looks fine, it's clean. Okay. We're gonna open this up and check for direct shorts to ground. If we don't have any direct shorts to ground, then we'll reset the motor starter and see what happens. Okay, we come up here, and I'll spare you guys, but I verified we have no power, okay? And what we're gonna do, I've got my meter on continuity. I got green light, and it's making an audible tone. Don't know if you guys can hear that. That's interesting. 11 ohms from winding to winding. That is, for a 1/2 horsepower, 3-phase, 208 volt motor. Something's off about that, I think, man. Usually don't see anything that high resistance reading. But it's 11 ohms, 3-phase, but nothing shorted to ground. All right, I isolated it from the switch, right? And we're getting 11 ohms. It's even across all the windings, though. That just seems really high to me. But there's no direct shorts to ground. Nothing's going on there. Nothing on any of the windings, so nothing. Yeah. All right, well, let's wire it back up. Let's go down and look at that overload and possibly reset it and then see what happens. Got it turned off on the roof, so now it's reset. So let's go up there. What's the overload set for? 2.2 amps, looks like. Okay, let's head up top now. Okay. I have the belt disconnected, so we just see the motor. Doesn't seem like a problem. Interesting. Okay, well, let it slow down and I'll put the belt back on. Maybe it truly just tripped when they did the hood inspection and they never reset it. I don't know. I have no idea. Very interesting, though. All right. Get the belt put on real quick. All right, 1, 2, 3. So, looks like someone just didn't reset it because we're running fine. Well under current of 2.1. So, yeah. This is interesting. Okay. We got more problems here too, so that's a plus because I'll just let this thing run. Put the cover on it and we'll watch it for a little bit and then we'll go from there. So I'm checking the belts on all the exhaust fans and some of them are actually pretty loose. So we're tightening those up too. Big picture stuff. Yeah, this is way too loose. So the belt's probably fine. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that belt. We just need to tighten it up. So we're just gonna loosen these set screws, put the tension on there. That'll help too. Every one of these was a little bit loose. So doing that will help, because talking to the kitchen manager, he says that like, when I told him it was the prep hood, the one in the back of their line, he's like, but it was Smokey in the front. Well, this would do that because it's loose belt. So so they may not have even realized the prep was down. Like, it's just confusing. Sometimes it gets that way here. So I'm gonna tighten this guy up. So again, just loosen these up, pull the motor bracket that way, tension it. The guy's nice and tensioned, good. And she's running. We got this last one. I believe this is their dishwasher, but I'm gonna check that too real quick. You know, I always think about, like, after the fact when I'm editing these videos, I start thinking, hey, you know, I should have done this, I should have done that. And in hindsight, it probably would have been a smart idea, and the thought did cross my mind to go get my insulation tester to test it, but that's life. I didn't, right? And all was well. Now, what I really think happened, judging by how clean the exhaust fans are, I genuinely think that the exhaust fans were cleaned. I'm curious if the kitchen manager knew what he was talking about. I assumed they were hood cleaners because he said that they were up in the motor starter panel. So I'm assuming that they were hood cleaners because the exhaust fans were really clean inside. I guess they could have been doing a fire test. It's all possible. So whatever reason, the motor starter got tripped, and I couldn't find a reason as to why it happened, right? So we did our best. We you know, checked for direct shorts to ground. We made sure nothing was stuck in the motor, the wheel, anything like that. And everything was good after that. Once we reset it, you know, I was there for a couple more hours working on a makeup air unit, and no issues, you know, exhaust fans running fine. Now, the other interesting thing was, I mentioned, don't know if you caught it, they said that this had happened a few weeks prior. So that also got me thinking, like, when I went downstairs, I started asking him again. I'm like, wait a minute, I thought you said it was really smoky. And he goes, yeah, it was really smoky in the kitchen, but it was also really hot. And so here's what was happening was, their makeup air unit, they have a direct fired makeup air unit. I don't know if I'm going to make a video on this or not, but you guys will get a sneak peek here. But they had a direct fired makeup air unit that was overheating the kitchen. And then the kitchen staff was overheating. They were sweating. The kitchen manager says that cooks felt like they were going to pass out. I think they might have been a little bit dramatic, but maybe, who knows. And what they actually did was they opened up all the back door and another door, and then put big fans in the kitchen. And then he goes, but when we put those fans in, the whole kitchen got smoky. And I'm like, yeah, you can't, they were like giant industrial fans. I was like, no, you can't be running those in a kitchen, because it starts moving the airstream from the exhaust fans and pulls the smoke out, and it just created a bunch of problems. So, but he still said that even after they turned off the fans, it was kind of smoky in the kitchen. And the only thing I could find was loose belts on the exhaust fans, right? And then I found a prep hood that had the motor starter tripped. And they swear up and down that that happened after someone was out there doing something to their hoods. Now, I'm the person that does the work and the repair on the exhaust fans, so it only could have been the grease cleaning company or the fire suppression company. One of the two. Now, occasionally the fire suppression company will trip the Ansel interlock to test it, but I'm genuinely curious. I don't think that that'll trip the motor starters. The motor starters will only trip on these fans if, the motor starters should only trip if there's an overload, which can happen though too if something got sucked up in the fan, or if the cleaners turned on the exhaust fan when it was hinged over. That could have done it. I mean, there's so many different things that could have caused this motor starter to trip. So, you know, I did my best to try to find something, didn't see anything, checked the motor, started it up, everything was good, didn't see any other issues. The other thing though is I went through and tightened up all their exhaust fan belts, and that's it. That's all I can give them. That's all I can do for them. Everything else was working properly. So I really appreciate you making it to the end of the video. Leave me some feedback in the comments if you have any. If you're interested in supporting the channel, there's a couple different ways to do so, but the easiest way is just watch the videos from beginning to end. You can also go to my website, hvacrvideos.com, where we have merchandise such as these hats available, beanies, stickers. Great way to help support the channel. You can also support the channel via PayPal, Patreon, or YouTube channel memberships, of which there's links in the show notes of this video on different, or for all those. And those are all just ways to make a one-time donation or a monthly commitment to the channel. And last but not least, if you see any tools that I used in this video or any other of my videos, a good majority of the time I get those tools from TrueTechTools.com. If you go to TrueTechTools.com, check out what they have. They've got a great selection. I actually have an affiliate code with them. So if you use my affiliate code at checkout, there's a spot for a coupon code right in the bottom right corner. If you put my affiliate code there, big picture, one word, at checkout, you'll get a nice discount on majority of the items. And then whenever that discount's applied, I get a small commission from that order. So it's a great way to help support the channel. I really appreciate you making it to the end. Again, please give me some feedback, and hope to catch you on the next one.